How are you today, Mia?
I'm doing pretty well. What about you?
I'm not too bad. We'll just get a bit of an introduction about yourself. If you can tell the viewers about you. I know you have a YouTube channel where you put some content out and cooking videos, I think, right?
That's correct. I'm Mia, and I started in June a YouTube channel that is called Spanish Mama Mia. That I'm doing more that recipes, Spanish authentic recipes that I learned from my Spanish grandmother, and I'm making it in English, and in order that people from US can replicate it with ingredients from US.
Okay, good. So, is there a problem? We'll just talk about this for a minute or two. So, is there a problem getting some of the key ingredients for Spanish cooking in the states?
The saffron is very expensive. It's
Okay.
around maybe $12 to $13 1 ounce. It's much expensive, but it's really from Spain. We
Yeah.
don't have the Middle East one, like sometimes you can find in Spain. I think the paprika, you can find it there. The rice, the bomba rice, is most probably double the price that is in Spain, but you can get the ingredients.
Okay, good. So there's no problem getting your hands on good quality olive oil, the saffron, as you said, and the specific type of rice that you need to make something like paella, right?
That's correct. And I was going to tell you a little bit about me. I was born in U.S. in New York,
Yeah,
from parents that immigrated to U.S. My dad from France, my mom from Spain in the 1950s,
yeah.
and so they immigrated to U.S. for employment and going to school, etc. So I was born there, but my great grandmother used to be in Madrid. She born and raised in Spain, and I would go as a little kid since I was 6. Every summer I stayed 3 months with her in Madrid.
All right, good. So
And
you're fully fluent in both languages.
yes, I am.
All right, good. So that's something that you can thank your grandmother for, I imagine.
Yes, I think she forced me to really talk Spanish, and it's funny now because, like I was saying, I live in not in New York. I'm a physician, so I moved to the South of the United States to go and pursue my medical career. And I've been living in the South for maybe 22 years. And
Okay.
I met my husband there, and we live in Florida.
Yeah.
So in Florida, what they speak most is like a universal Spanish. So you have a little bit of Colombian words, Venezuelan, Cuban,
Yeah.
um, but not from Spain, like Castilian slangs.
Okay.
So when I
Okay.
talk with my family, they get upset because I'm not talking really Castilian. I mean,
Ah.
including some slangs from other Latin American countries, so they get a little bit upset.
Okay. So you've got more of a Latin American Spanish influence now.
Right now, yes, because most of my patients are from Latin American countries in
Okay.
US.
So you communicate with them in Spanish, obviously.
Yes, the one that they talk in Spanish, the ones that are American are talking English, of
All right,
course.
great, great. So that's an advantage, definitely, as being a physician, Mia. I can imagine. Now, your background is Spanish, as you said, Spanish mother, French father, spending your childhood here in Madrid, and you've recently, I imagine, recently, is it that you've decided to apply for a visa to live in Spain a little bit more permanently, or what's the story there?
The story is that I always wanted to live in Spain, but being married to what I call it a redneck from the south of US, that's my husband from
Yeah.
Alabama, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So I have to convince him that sooner or later, we have to buy some property in Spain with the idea of retiring to Spain. My husband is already retired, so older than me. So finally, last summer, I convinced him to buy a property. I wanted to buy it in Madrid, of course, because I grew up there.
Yeah.
But we got into a common decision, or I committed a little bit, that he liked Malaga instead of Madrid.
Okay.
because of the water and also the climate. So we bought a property in Malaga. That's what I am right now. I can
Okay.
show you around if you want to.
Well, we can see behind you there. You have the what's that? The castle or something?
Yeah, that's the castle
Okay.
and the Roman ruins.
Good.
But so we bought a property in June here in Malaga in the historic center. As a matter of fact, I am half a block from the cathedral. If you know a little bit of Malaga.
Well, I haven't been there for a long time, but I have spent a bit of time in not so much in Malaga City, but on the outskirts. Yeah.
And so since we invested in a property, we had two options to get the residence in Spain. I could get it because of being a descendant from Spanish, or I can get it by buying a property that what is called the golden visa.
Okay.
And I spoke with attorneys, and they said that would be a faster way because then I can include my husband and my kids. Mm-hmm. Versus with the descendant, it would take a little bit more. I have to really prove of my parents and my grandparents.
Yeah.
So we went the second route, and I'm happy to tell you that yesterday I applied for today I applied for my TIE card, and last month I got approved for the residency. So I got invitation from Madrid, and so we right now, when this morning they gave us, and I can show you here. I don't know that I got out of the camera here.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's the official documents.
That's correct. And then we will get the cars, the TIE cars, 30 days.
All right, good. So it was a faster process.
No, it wasn't. As a matter of fact, we've been applying since June, so that would be 9 months, 8 months.
Yeah, but I mean, compared to the other option that you had, which was to seek the ancestry, right?
You're right. And like I explained to you, maybe that's discussion for another day. It's getting tougher and tougher for Americans for obtaining the visa here.
Okay.
Tougher than British and even Latin Americans. So my attorney told me that this is one of the toughest cases that she got that was lost.
So why is that, do you think?
I really don't know. I don't know if they changed, that they changed a little bit the requirements in January of this year. They're asking for more paperwork. Okay. So I don't know if they are trying to limit the amount of people that are coming, and especially by golden visa.
Yep.
So I think that is the problems, but they ask for crazy stuff, Stuart. My tax record in the U.S., I have to have some affidavits that would prove that my husband and we have a joint marriage.
Okay. Joint marriage?
Yes, like financial joint marriage. That means that we invest together and our money is together.
Yeah, you don't have what they call here in Spain the separación de bienes.
No tenemos eso.
Okay, all right, great. All right, great. Now, the golden visa interests me. That's, as you said, if you invest in the country a certain amount of money, right?
In in Spain is 500,000 euros.
Yep.
And you can do it by buying separate properties. You can buy two properties, 250, or you can buy even a parking or a lot, or a farm. But at the end has to be the total of 500,000 euros. And that is before the taxes.
Before taxes. Okay, great. And that gives you what type of residency? Permanent residency, or your residency is attached to your investment?
Well, they give you temporary for 2 years.
Okay.
And after 2 years, you apply for the permanent one. Okay. So I have to prove that I have this property for the next 2 years.
Okay, great. So hold on to the investment here in Spain. So you're tied to that, and when the authorities see that you've had that investment for 2 years, you get the permanent residency.
That's correct.
And then you can do whatever you want with that investment. You can sell it, downsize, do whatever you want, right?
Yes, that's true.
Now tell me about the Costa del Sol. So your husband was You said you wanted to go to Madrid. Your husband said no, he prefers Malaga. So what does your husband like about Malaga? Does he like the fried fish or the beaches? What does he like?
Well, my husband, I told you, he's from Alabama. He's from the Panhandle region, so that's right there in the Gulf of Mexico. And in Florida, we still have a property. We have property right in the water in the Panhandle region of Florida. So he was set. What I was set for a place that climate-wise is not different from Florida.
Yeah.
I wanted like longer summers and very short winters, and I want to be sure that I can walk to the beach if I want to, or I can get fresh fish. So, in Madrid, he will not get that.
You can't walk to the beach. That's that's definite. And you can't pull up at a port and buy fresh fish. No, you have to go to a market where we imagine that the fish is caught on the same day, Mia. I mean, let's be honest. It probably comes to Madrid the same day that it's caught, but it's not the same experience as going to a place there on the coast and buying the fish directly, right?
Yeah, over here, you go to the market that is at Tarazana. So back again is a couple of blocks from where I live now in Malaga. And you go at 7 o'clock in the morning, and maybe the fish was caught 1 hour prior.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And the gambas are right there, and you can have any size of gambas, very good price. Versus in Madrid, and I have bought in the market in Madrid.
Yeah.
If you go afternoon, 12 o'clock, you're not going to find anything fresh.
So everything sells out really quick.
That's correct.
Yeah. So your passion is that cooking side, Mia. I see that you want to get your hands on those good ingredients, right?
Yeah, I'm really, as a matter of fact, in my channel, I even have one video of going to the market and getting all the ingredients for the paella.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, being a physician and having a very stressful job, my way of relaxing is cooking, and that's what I go to the market and like to buy things that are fresh. So.
Okay, so it's a way that you switch off from the job, take your mind off the stress, and do something, a passion, basically, right?
That's correct.
That's it. Now, tell me about the general scene down there. You've made friends. You've got some local contacts, or has that been difficult or easy? What's the story?
I have two set of friends. We do. My husband's learning now Spanish, like you have in your channels before. How important to learn the language, and to be honest with you, I get tired of being the translator. So he's taking classes here in Malaga on Fridays.
Yeah.
They have classes here. You will think it's crazy. They go for a beer with a T-shirt, and they have a 2-hour class. People drinking beer and learning Spanish.
Yeah, that's it. The alcohol probably loosens the tongue.
That's what they said. So I have two set of friends. My friends are from Malaga. I have met people that are very nice from University of Malaga here. And people that are in businesses. So they've been very nice. And then I have the set of expats that are from U.S.
Yep.
I have friends from Michigan, from Wisconsin that live here in Malaga. And it's easy for my husband to connect with them.
Okay.
So sometimes we go with our friends from Malaga. Sometimes we go with our friends from U.S.
Okay, great. And the idea, I suppose, in the time that you're here, Mia, is to travel to different parts of the country, or to get to know Spain and take your husband and show him the sights?
Yeah, we do. We were this weekend in Cordoba. So, and it's awesome because we took the train, and 1 hour we were in Cordoba from Malaga. Yeah. And we stayed over the weekend in Malaga, and we came back again, took the train, over the weekend in Cordoba, took the train and came. So we already have done very short trips, like to Seville and back again to Cordoba, Fuengirola. So places that are pretty close that are in the Costa del Sol, Cadiz. Madrid as well. Madrid is a little bit longer, but the Ave is like 2 hours and a half.
Yeah.
But the good thing about being in, I think is number 4 of 6 city in terms of population in Spain. We have the transportation by train is pretty good. So we can hit different cities in Spain.
Yeah, and the airport's international, I think, as well. Can you fly directly to the States?
No, you have to do a connection through Amsterdam,
Okay.
or through London or Dublin. So we don't have a direct. Like my daughter's right now here in the spring break. She goes to the University of Miami. So she's here in Malaga, and she flew Miami, JFK to Madrid, and then she took the Renfe to Malaga.
Yeah, the AVE, that's right. I think Malaga's well-connected city, as you said. You can be in those other cities, Seville, Cordoba. You can also get to Granada now on the train, I think, and Madrid, 2.5 hours, 3 hours away, I think, and then you can connect with other trains to go all around the country. So well-connected, which is definitely a pro, and of course the weather is the key, I think, Mia, for Malaga. I don't know what the weather's like today, but I imagine you've had the dust cloud, have you? It's a bit wet.
Oh my God, that was Tuesday, and I know we had spoke before. I'm doing telemed from Malaga, so I'm still working with US.
Yeah.
So it was difficult to really run the telemed with the rain that was so hard here, and we were losing power and in and out connection. And right now I have 3 balconies in my flat, and they're full of mud.
Oh, really?
Because of that, what they call it, calima.
Yeah, and then it all gets all over the ground, and the rain comes and turns it into mud. That's it. Yeah, so it's a bit uncomfortable, but I suppose you have to get used to it, because I'm sure it won't be the last one.
Yeah, it's true. It was like a mud fest yesterday morning. Most of the streets here in the city center, they were full of mud. There were some of them that you really could not walk because it was really rough.
Now, I want you to tell us a little bit about some of the differences you notice in the lifestyle between a place like Florida. Well, did you say, I didn't quite catch where you are. Were you in Miami, did you say, or you're in another part of Florida?
No, my daughter goes to the University of Miami. I'm in Pensacola, Florida. That is 3 miles to the east of Alabama.
Okay, great. So you're almost on the border there. What are some of the differences in the lifestyle?
Well, one of the things is the cost of living is the difference. That's the first thing I would say. To give you an idea, here in my flat, in my community fees are around $100 a month. I pay $2,000 a month in US.
Community fees?
I promise you.
Wow.
Taxes here, what we call it the EB, is maybe around in this flat $1,200 a year.
Yeah.
In United States is 10 to 12,000 a year.
Wow.
So if you see the cost of living in the US is pretty, but at the same time the salaries are higher. So, yes, but the cost of living. Right now, we're hitting 7.9 in inflation in US.
Yep.
I think Spain is 7.8, so we're pretty close. They're expecting in US is going to be around 9 by the end of March. Mm-hmm. And so prices are more expensive. What I spend here in groceries is half of the cost that I was spending in US.
And do you need a car in Malaga?
No, I don't have a car.
But in Florida, yes.
Oh, yeah. In Florida, to go to the supermarket, I need a car because my supermarket, the closest one is 3 miles. And to go to the pharmacy is like 6 miles. So definitely I need a car. And public transportation, at least in my state, I don't want to offend anybody. Maybe in New York, Chicago, big cities is pretty good. But in Florida, it's horrible. So if you wait for a bus, you're going to be waiting almost an hour, and there's no metro. Yeah. So everybody needs a car, and the problem that we have is you have a household of 4 adults, each one have a car.
Yeah. Car-dependent cities, that's right.
That's correct.
Style of living. Yeah, it's similar in Australia. People are dependent on cars as well. I suppose that is one of the main advantages then when you get to a city like Malaga. And I've mentioned that in various videos that it is the advantage of a Spanish city that although you're living in a flat, you might not have a garden or an outside space. A lot of people don't anyway. The convenience that you have of supermarkets in the street downstairs, you've got a pharmacy downstairs most likely, you've got a lot of other different types of shops very close by that you can find everything. And cars, a lot of people in Malaga have a car. I mean, don't get me wrong, because they drive from one side of the city to the other, or they believe a car is necessary. But you don't technically need a car in a lot of Spanish cities if you are, I suppose, getting everything very close by. Everything's within walking distance. You've got buses probably cruising up and down nearby streets. So in that sense, they are handy, I would say.
Yeah, and currently, I think the closest metro station that we have is what is called Alameda. Most probably is like a 5-minute walk from my flat. But they are constructing right now one that will go all the way to the historic center, and they expecting that would be open by summer. So literally, I will be walking out of my flat in 1.5 blocks. I will have the metro.
Fantastic.
Which is convenience. My husband like it here because if he's hungry, he only go one flat upstairs, and he have like 6 or 7 tapas bars that he can go and have his beer and eat something. When I'm working in telemed, he's downstairs having some food and drinks.
So he likes the lifestyle.
Oh my God, he likes it more than I do.
That's it. And no problems with Spanish food, obviously, having you cooking, I suppose. He's got used to that over the years, and he's getting into the Mediterranean lifestyle.
He is, and he is learning enough Spanish to be able to order by himself.
Okay. Because as you said, you don't want to be working as a translator the whole time.
It is. It's really tough, even when they come and deliver something to the flat, and he likes to buy a lot of things. That's another thing also. Example, Amazon. Yeah. Amazon in U.S., you ask something from Amazon, and your Prime, most probably you get it in 24, 48 hours, and they would leave it in front of your house, and you have to be careful with people that will steal the box.
Yeah.
In Spain, they come and they call you and said, I'm going to deliver this time.
Yeah.
And they ask you for your DNI or your NIE to be sure that's you. So you have more that personal touch with delivery here in Spain, at least in Malaga, that I have in US.
Yeah, well, that's it. They're maybe I don't know the difference between the way they operate in the US and here, but here I've always seen Amazon offering very good service, Mia, and in places like Madrid and probably in Malaga as well, you can get same day service for a lot of things as well.
They have an Amazon hub here in Malaga, yeah. So literally you can order something the night before and they deliver in the morning.
Yeah, well, that's it.
And they deliver also Amazon groceries here in Malaga.
Yep.
So I don't really have to go and buy a lot.
Amazon Prime, that's it, yeah. The supermarket, they give you a choice of, I don't know what supermarkets they give you, but Amazon seems to have its own supermarket, and here in Madrid they offer Dia supermarket as well, so you've got a choice between two different supermarkets, yeah.
Same thing here.
That's it. Well, there we go. That's it, exactly the same. All right, Mia, we'll start to wrap it up. Good speaking to you. Now, the idea is to get something semi-regular happening, maybe once every week, once every couple of weeks. You're going to give some input on what's going on down there on the Costa del Sol, some news if anything's breaking, and also to get your point of view on a few things of what's happening.
That sounds good. I don't know that you have heard about the strike of the truckers.
Yeah, I have heard about it. Yeah.
They woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning here. They're being like with the honks, and they're staying in the big street that is called Alameda. And this is the 4th day they're in a strike. So That's something that is affecting Malaga right now, but we can talk later. And also, if you have any questions about situations with US, because since I'm traveling so much over there.
All right, fantastic, great. So we'll be in contact, Mia, and good speaking to you today.
It was nice talking to you. Take care.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.